Stardelta9, your host, coming at you from the grow room, spiritual room. I don't know, whatever room you want to call it. Hope you guys are having a fabulous night. Thought I'd come out and talk to you guys a little bit about some of this astrology and give you guys a forecast for May. Smoke a little bit of cannabis with you. Show you a little bit of the grow. Possibly do a little bit of churro. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. How y'all doing? I am going to smoke on a little bit of Jack Henna, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, and some papaya hash, bubble hash, papaya bubble hash. I guess that's what it's called. I cleaned my bong and I cleaned my dab rig out, so just shifting things around so I have a little bit of room. I've lit a candle. I've shuffled on some cards and meditated for a while. Decided if I wanted to even do a video, because the astrology's been quite intense for so many people, including myself. And so I want to do a little bit of a forecast for the May and talk a little bit about this extremely powerful, life-changing energy that's upon us. Share a little bit of the grow, what's going on there, smoke a little bit of cannabis with you, medicate, say hello, talk about my homemade hummus I made. It was super simple. Super simple. I had it on lettuce, I had it on tortillas, and I even tried it on chips. I think my favorite is the lettuce wrap. I do like it on tortillas, though. It's really good on tortillas. So let me load my bowl here. This bubble hash is really sticky. It's papaya, and it's a really great strain, and it's by Talking Trees. I think they're located here in California. So I'll show you what it looks like. And it's so pungent. You see how thick it is? It's so thick. It's so thick and so pungent. And when I first tried it, it reminded me of smoking bubble hash back in the the 80s, or even doing honey oil, off a butter knife, off the stove. We used to do that too. So I'm going to stick some of this on top of there, and I'm going to start my evening with that and a little bit of canna tea. I made a milk thistle canna tea and some granola today. I'll put up a recipe for you guys for the granola. How you doing, PJ? Hey, how you doing, darling? Are you feeling this energy? It is so intense. I am smoking on Jack Henner and some papaya hash, bubble hash, by Talking Trees. So, cheers, everybody. I mean, this stuff bubbles up just like bubble hash that I make out of my hash bags, right? And I love bubble hash. I want hash. I love hash. No one has it around there? No? Well, you send me some Delta-8 or Delta-9, and I'll send you some bubble hash. That's an easy fix, my friend. Cheers, everyone. So this last month ending, yeah, do that. With the supermoon in Scorpio and then the retrograde turn of the powerful Pluto. I think the last days of April kind of kicked off the beginning of a major period of transformation for so many people, so many things on our planet as a universe, right? And that was just the beginning. As the great amount of changes that we've experienced as a collective, as a universal collective for the whole year 2020, it's going to be a continuum of May's astrology events, unfortunately. But bringing with it that first eclipse season of the year, the beginning of the two important retrogrades that I talked about, and awaited the shift, that sign that the shift of Jupiter, right? May is one of the most pivotal months of 2021. So if you have not listened to any astrology up to this point, you should probably tune into some astrologers for 2021, because the month began with a pretty mellow note, I would have to say, as Venus and Mercury connected with Neptune and Pluto on May 2nd, right? And that allowed our deepest desires within ourselves, perhaps something even close to your heart, I'd say, I don't know, to reach possibilities or possible heights. Cheers. Maybe it helped you to bring something that you've been manifesting down into the 3D world, or to begin that manifestation, right? It's a perfect time when the May 2nd, May 3rd, to launch a seed of intention, to send it out into the cosmos, right? It's the perfect day. It was the perfect day to launch new projects, or projects, I don't know, that maybe that you feel a little uncomfortable about. How you doing, Ganja? Things that maybe topics that are uncomfortable that you don't want to discuss. Maybe you don't want to bring up because they're uncomfortable subjects for some. Well, yes, I do make bubble hash, my darling. Of course I make bubble hash. Are you kidding me? My bags are hanging right there in my closet. You never have enough flour. I'm telling you, bubble hash can be made out of what you have left over from your trim. I should do a video on it for y'all, because you don't need bud. You don't need solid bud. You can, I mean, you're going to not have the top grade of bubble hash, but you're going to have hash, you know? And if you can't find any, shit, some hash better than no hash, right? So Mercury entered Gemini May 3rd, where it will stay until July 27th, I believe. And that's going to be due to the retrograde, which is going to begin May 29th. When Gemini, I mean, it was pretty swift. Mercury worked its way through Gemini pretty quickly, right? The very best that it could, helping us to formulate some sort of variety of ideas, or even some sort of viewpoints to look at, to view at. But right after it enters its diurnal sign that it rules, Mercury forms a square with mighty Jupiter in Aquarius on May 4th, awakening and activating our minds. I think, though, there's a little bit going on, because with so much air energy, the moon will be in Aquarius on that day, was in the moon on Aquarius on May 4th, because it's now May 6th. And you'll need to keep your feet grounded and to prevent yourself and your ego from flying too high. The sun is going to be squaring Saturn that day on May 4th, as well as, so watch your mouth around that day. I know it's a little late because today is the 6th, but time is not, it's not linear like you're thinking. It's not clock time. Clock time is a construct that man made. That's it, to get you from point A to point B. So time is linear, right? It goes in cycles. So just because today's the 6th, wherever you are, due to the retrogrades and the planetary shifts and Mercury forming this square with Jupiter, there's time that you can launch something, or you can monitor your ego, or you can prevent yourself from saying something that you may regret later due to an uncomfortable subject that came up that you didn't want to discuss in the first place, right? You said, well, I didn't want to discuss that in the first place, but you made me discuss it. And so now I have flown off the handle, and I've allowed my ego to get the best of me. And I've reacted instead of sitting in the vertical. On May 4th, what happens, though, with that shift in Jupiter is it activated your mind. It activated your mind to an awakening of that type of behavior, that type of things you're doing that are not serving you. And so if it didn't activate your mind on the 4th, don't worry about it. You got time yet. It's going to be there till the 27th of July. So you got some time. And this is going to be unlike any of the other retrogrades that we've ever had that I can think of, that I've been looking back on. So after it entered this sign that it ruled, because Mercury formed that beautiful square, and Jupiter's mighty, right? Jupiter is mighty. Everything it touches, it expands and it transforms, right? And it went into Aquarius. And what are we in? The age of Aquarius, my friends. The age of Aquarius. So much of the air energy, the moon will be in Aquarius on the 4th. We're going to need to keep ourselves grounded. I flew off the fucking handle. The 4th, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. Profound days for me. Because I've already had my spiritual awakening 2 years and 2 months and 7 hours ago, right? Whatever the hell that means, I don't know. But apparently I have reincarnated to go before some people and to pave the way. And I've been going through one of the worst dark nights of the soul that I can explain, fathom. And it's still been and still is quite profound. So I understand how staying grounded to prevent our egos from flying off too high, because we don't want to set karmic debt, new karmic debt, cosmic karmic debt for ourselves that you're going to have to repay in this lifetime, in this 3D world. There's not a man in the sky who's going to atone you for all the bad shit you did. All the bad shit you did, if you get atoned for it and have the grace or gift of a spiritual awakening, you'll be atoned for it right here in the real, in the now. That's what an awakening is. Becoming aware that you are your own worst enemy, your own culprit, right? So that's gut-wrenching. It's scary, and that's why they call it the dark night of the soul, because what used to be, what you used to be, no longer exists, and where you're going to be and what is, you have no idea. So you're in no man's land, and that's a little frightening. And so it brings up issues for you of fear, mostly, and anxiety. But I'm telling you to just If you're experiencing this like I am, stay strong. I'm not taking on the cosmos, but I'm paving the way as one of the light workers. Let me correct that statement, because I'm not paving the way by myself. There are many of sentinel beings that went before me, and there are many of sentinel beings that'll go after me. I'm just one that's helping to pave the way. That's it. That's it. I'm one tiny little speck of a speck, right? I'm the microcosm of the macrocosm. You're Gemini. Waving a hand at Gemini. I had a profound reading about Gemini today. Very profound. You know, the sun's going to be squaring Saturn, like I told you, on May 4th. And so you might want to just kind of watch yourself around the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Just watch your mouth. Just be careful. Just be careful, because you don't want to set any karmic debt for yourself, okay? Here's the big stuff that I want you to pay attention to, though. May 8th is going to bring this tremendous shift in play. Some of you may already feel this shift. Part of the thing about your dreams, Ganja, is that your dreams are not your dreams. You think they're your dreams because, again, man has placed a label on what it is you do when you sleep. Here's what you do when you sleep, my darling. You are as close to death as you will ever be, as what you're looking at, your perspective of death, right? Because there is no death. Where I sit, there is none. So a label they put on it is that when I lay down at night, I sleep and I dream. Okay. What am I dreaming about? Nightmares I had of memories that haunt me? Or am I dreaming about the subconscious things that I will not consciously allow myself to do? And I am resting, and my mind is no different than a computer. It is simulating my day's events that happened that day. And while I rest, it's integrating into my subconscious, my conscious mind, into my memory banks. It's keeping what I want and throwing away what I don't want. That's why sometimes you can walk into a room and say, I've been here before. I did that very same thing. I know I have. A dream? Deja vu? Those are labels, right? So the mind is a very powerful tool, and whatever you're not allowing yourself to express in your consciousness, in your environment, you will deal with in your subconsciousness while you sleep. And the reason you don't remember it is because you don't want to deal with it in your reality in the first place. So why would you remember it? You're only thinking about it because you're in a dream state. When you're in a dream state, if you look up anything in a science book and they talk about what a dream state is, from my perspective as a nurse, I can put you on a monitor and you're just about flatlined. You're barely breathing. Your heart rate is so low that you're bradycardic. Your blood pressure is barely going. Why? Because you are being regenerated. Every single one of the 700 trillion cells in your body are replenished 100% every 7 days. If you're 30 years old, you do the math and tell me how many times you're regenerating yourself in your sleep. So there's a lot going on that you think's going on that's not, darling. Hello. It's a label. It's just a label, darling, that someone's put on what you do when you sleep. That's all. It's no different than how many hours do I sleep? Well, it's very strange for me now. Prior to my awakening, I only slept about 4 hours a night. And that was my routine. That was my given. If I got any more than that, I was really lucky. Since my awakening, it's no more than a task that I complete, like eating or showering or clocking in to go to work, right? Or making a pot of coffee. When I'm tired, I sleep. And if I sleep 8 hours, I sleep 8 hours. If I sleep only four, then I only needed four, and I'm up. But what's different is I'll come home from work and I'll work 6 to 2:30, and I'll take a 4 hour nap, and then I'll go to bed that night, and I'll go to bed at 9:30, and I'll sleep till 4 the following morning. So when this body tells this mind it's time to go to bed, I go to bed. And when it says it's time to wake up, do you know what I tell myself? I tell myself every night before I go to sleep, it's that my autonomic nervous system will awaken me at this time. You can't stop sleeping. That's because we're getting older, my friend. And as we get older, we require more sleep. So that's okay. Sleep. Let your body sleep. Your body tells you what you need. Your body tells you what you need. So ask yourself why you are avoiding that. Maybe that sleep is self sabotage, and that's a form you were taught. Go take a nap, and when you wake up, everything will be better. It's like a baby. Maybe you're tired from these energies, darling. It could be a whole bunch of things. You know your story, right? But May 8th is going to really bring on a big shift in the overall feminine energies as Venus. It's all good news. It's all good news. It's all good news. None of it is bad. Remember what I've told you guys? Nothing is bad or good. It is only what your mind says it is. I think Newton or somebody said that. Somebody famous. I don't remember. That's what people ask me at work. How come you can't? You're welcome. How come you can't remember the codes? Aren't you memorizing them? Yes, I can memorize shit. I can memorize codes. But I'm telling you, this brain, since I've had a spiritual awakening, I don't have a thought in it. And when you tell me something, I do it. It's done. It's gone. You're going to have to tell me again. It's not because I'm stupid. It's because it's gone. I don't have an agenda any longer. Good evening. Good evening. So, May 8th is going to be full of a whole bunch of stuff because here's what happens. The feminine energy in Venus, it leaves its home sign of Taurus and it's going to enter Gemini. And that's why I did the Gemini reading today. In this air mutable sign, Venus becomes all about variety, all about intellectual stimulation, okay? And preferably more on the lines of, how can I put this and make it sound nice? A long stimulating conversation that stimulates your sensory experiences, if you know what I mean, right? And while flirting or being fickle, Venus is in this breezy air sign, and it provides a little bit of wit and a little bit of curiosity and a little bit of adaptability in the matters of love, right? Beauty and money. So if your relationships have been, let's say, lacking a little bit, and you want to rev them up a little bit, just know May 8th, when Venus shifts into Gemini and comes out of Taurus, it's going to beyond like Donkey Kong. And so don't be surprised if you're even out being a little flirty or fickly or quick-witted, when you're out shopping with your partner. Venus is a breezy air sign, and this sign provides that wit. And so it also provides that adaptability to where you can be a little more playful and have a maybe because if you think about it, as we age, our looks fade, right? We Things that we thought were beautiful and that were going to sustain a relationship no longer do. So if you can't have that long sensory conversation, then maybe I'm talking to the wrong group of people. You're you're going out on the 8th. Also on the 8th, I want to talk a little bit about this Sirius. Sirius is an asteroid that leaves Aries and enters into Taurus, which in a way, it's an ideal ingress. I want to say to replace the goodies that Venus in Taurus was bestowing upon us for the last few weeks, like Teen Wolf. The asteroids are kind of nuances, if you will. They're I don't know the word for that. The transits between Sirius and Taurus remind us to just really kind of enjoy the simple pleasures of life. That's what That's what I'm really wanting to say. Sirius is going to remind you or remain in Taurus, and I'm going to remind you of that until August 1st. So it's also going to bring up the perfect terrain for you to work. How you doing on finances, and maybe to form a long-term investment plan. And after all, besides being nurturing, because that's the word I was looking for, nurturing. It's a nurturance type transit. It's a loving self nurturance, right? Nurturance. I kept wanting to say AENC instead of E. I don't even know how it's spelled anymore. ENCE, I wanted to say, and I think it's spelled ANCE, but don't quote me on that. So all of this beside, it's being nurturing to the earth, to earthly Taurus, right? And Taurus is also about like money making. It's the money making sign, for Christ's sake. And the next big event of the month is going to be May 11th. So if you have not seen my new moon ritual video, please go to my video section and do the new moon ritual video, because this is a brand new moon. It's going to occur at 22 degrees of Taurus, and this lumination is a real fucking powerhouse. I'm just going to say it. It's an incredible time to set intentions around something that relates to you on, thank you, darling, it's not me. Something that relates to you on your deepest desire, or requires some long-term, down the road transformation. You can put those seeds in the ground right now. You can plant them. Right? So the illumination is just going to be a real powerhouse of that. And it's an incredible time to set those intentions. And when you set an intention, your intention is the seed you're planting. So make sure you set that with unconditional love. You set that with joy. You set that with the greater good of yourself and the other and the whole collective, right? I mean, that's Newton's law, coming together, the greater sum of two objects coming together for a greater outcome, right? That is the same thing as a positive and negative neutron that come together and meet their match. They click, they disappear, and they go poof, and they reappear into two separate entity of light. Photons. What are photons? Light, energy. It's usable energy. So use the energy, because we are all on a cycle. And I keep telling you guys, I keep telling you, the vertical, if you stay grounded in the vertical, that is your creator, that is consciousness. The horizontal is this world, is your playground, right? Are you setting karmic debt, cosmic debt for yourself that you're going to cause some Surya for yourself, the collective, and everyone else around you, including your creator? If you are, you're going to be reincarnated in that karmic debt over and over until you learn that lesson and gain that wisdom and gain that awakening. That's why they call it awareness. You can't become aware unless you're aware. It's profound. So, do the new moon ritual. First of all, it's going to occur at 22 degrees of Taurus, and it's going to be a real powerhouse. Like I said, it's going to be an incredible time for you to set intentions with love, unconditional love, joy, and for the greater good of yourself, the other person involved, and the whole collective. Okay. And then law of attraction, it has to respond to you. Remember, energy is your thoughts too. Thoughts are energy, vice versa. It's duality. It's the conundrum of the spiritual awakening. Your whatever you think becomes your reality. And if you don't believe it's true, just start thinking some really negative shit and watch it manifest in your life, because you're going to mirror yourself off of the people, places, and things in your environment that you are most insecure about yourself. And you're going to accuse them of doing it to you. Trust me, I know. I did it. I did it for a long time. So I'm on the other side, and I'm not making fun. I'm not judging. I'm not saying I'm up here or down here. It's nothing. It's nothing. I'm not unique. I'm not special. I'm not nothing. I did the same fucking shit. So I just don't have that voice in the head anymore, or those limiting patterns that are causing me to respond any longer. I sit and rock in consciousness with my creator. So I get to do things like this for you guys. And this is what is beautiful, because this is good for me. I learn just like you guys. You learn. It is for the greater good of both, and the collective ascends. That's a win-win, baby. And consciousness is telling me, consciousness is giving me the information. I'm not a licensed astrologer. I just like astrology. I just read the books. I'm a licensed healer. That's what I am. Cheers to that. Let's take a dab. Should I get some dab material? I'm gonna load this bowl again. So I just want you to know that, because first the moon really is exalted in Taurus, and it can work her magic, man, at the very best. Secondly, this moon is mostly almost conjunct the black moon Lilith. Cheers. Who could tell me who black moon Lilith is? Why she exists? Black moon Lilith is trine Pluto in Capricorn. And this is Taurus is the closest. It's where she works her magic here, baby. And being two of the darkest and the deeply sensitive influences, they're present hints to this, do I dare say witchy or mystical or magical feminine energy? Do I dare? Do I dare? Psychic perception even being present during this time? Oh yeah. It's on fire, baby, because orbs are all around me and I see them all the time. Oh, you think she doesn't exist? Mm-hmm. The planet of abundance and expansion. The absolute best transit of May's astrology forecast is the shift in Jupiter, of Jupiter, really. It's the planet of abundance. It's the planet of expansion. It enters Pisces. That's its traditional home sign. And although Jupiter will stay only here until July 28th, due to the retrograde motion, this short visit is going to bring about a promise of some empathetic, open-mindedness, fluidity in our lives that's going to blow you out of the water. And I'm a double Pisces Cancer rising. If you thought you were empathic now, hold on to your pants. If you thought you had psychic intuition and abilities then, those will be heightened, can be heightened. Channels are opening up. It doesn't, well, right away there's a problem with that statement to me, PJ, because what does the word physical mean? Physical means that it's in a physical form, right? And that I can look it up and I can hold it and I can see a picture of it and I can read it. Well, you could certainly look up Black Moon Lilith and you can see her. You can look up the astrology on any of the NASA sites and look it up and you can find her. You can't always believe what you read, right? So my first problem with that statement is they state that it physically doesn't exist. Does consciousness physically exist? And I dare anyone to tell me that it does, because it doesn't. I can't put it in a form. I can't put it in my hands. I can't label it, but I know it's a feeling and I don't need anyone to tell me. And it's consciousness and it is omnipresence. It's Buddha. It is, it is my creator. And so if someone said to me, fuck, they should have taught this shit in school. They should have taught me this shit in kindergarten. I would have lived a whole different life. A whole different life. A whole different life. So Jupiter's only going to stay there till July 28th. And that's just due to the retrograde motion that's taking place. The short visit's going to just bring about, like all those things I just said. Yes, they don't teach you. They should be teaching a spiritual consciousness awakening in kindergarten. In kindergarten, right? So on the same day, Taurus is going to reach out to Neptune, and that's also going to happen in Pisces. And they're forming an opposition. They're sextiling, and they're making this one of the best days ever to manifest your wildest dreams, even and to bring it down here into reality today. Really just allow yourself to embody whatever it is you're imagining, regardless of what another person tells you you can or cannot do. You can embody it. I ask and I employ all of you out there because I'm a double Pisces, Cancer rising, so I'm a total fish all the way. I ask all of you to employ your inner Pisces because every single one of you has an inner Pisces to you. You do. You have an intuition and you have a psychic side, and you just don't listen to it. And if it's nudging you, it's nudging you for a reason. So today, just kind of even just start today, just allow yourself to embody inner Pisces energy. Allow yourself to dream as big as you want to dream, just be right here in your mind. As big as you dream, be as confidently you know it's coming to you, and live it as if it is already here. And law of attraction must oblige. Practice. Practice it. Do a small task. Do a small task. Do a very small task. If you don't believe me, okay? Go and say, manifest, and something you have to do. You're going to have to make sure you believe it, okay? I started with a $5 lottery ticket. And I said, today I'm going to manifest $5 on a lottery ticket. And if you say you're going to manifest $5 on a lottery ticket, you have to believe it, and believe it. You're collecting that money, right? And go out. You can't not go out and buy the damn ticket. You got to go out and do the footwork and buy the ticket, right? Because by the very essence of you not buying the ticket, you're telling the cosmos, the universe, your creator, that you're coming from a place of lack and you're not going to win that $5 anyway. So why should you even go get a ticket? It's a conundrum. I'm telling you. Manifestation is real, and your thoughts are energy, and what you think is what you manifest into your environment. Okay, and you are not. How can I say this? I don't know how I can say it any other way than I've said it since the gate. You're not your thoughts. You're not your mind. You're not even this body. You're not your emotions. Okay? This is a simple vehicle that you have agreed to be placed into, to come down into this world and manifest in a human being to do something. Whatever your soul's agreement was with your creator. Okay? Whatever that is. I asked myself so many times for so many years, why am I here? Is nursing it? Am I going to be a nurse forever and serving and serving and serving? Because nursing is a hard job. You get your ass kicked in nursing and you can get sued, and the doctors don't respect you, and the patients treat you like shit. And so nursing is not an easy job, and I did it for 40 years. It speaks volume about me. I have the tolerance and patience of a fucking saint. Yeah, I do. And maybe that's been my downfall. But I wouldn't change a thing, because that's the conundrum. If I did, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't know what I know. I wouldn't be aware and have awareness. So don't kick yourself in the ass. Don't kick yourself in the ass. Learn from what you keep repeating that is causing you pain or suffering in your life. Look at it in black and white and say, is that behavior? Is that a pattern I learned from the past? Did someone teach me that? And can I change it? And if I can, how? Can someone show me? Yes. Someone's showing me. I don't know where the hell they are in my city, but they're on the internet somewhere. And I grab videos throughout here and there and there. And so messages get put into my brain. And then I sit outside and meditate for hours and hours and hours. I can't tell you how much meditation I have under my belt. And I get these, all I can say is files. They're like files in a computer, downloads. And then they're just dropped in my head. Right? So that's why I keep telling you, your brain is the computer. It's the operating system of this machine that you are operating and driving. Okay? No different. You're operating and driving that vehicle forward. Good, bad, or indifferent. You're driving it. You're either being run by the Judy Jetsons, the entity, the voice in the head, the habitual mind pattern or limited belief, or you're sitting in consciousness, or you're in the dark night of the soul. That was a little humor, but I'm sorry, but because I've been experiencing 3 days of the dark night of the soul, which are very intense, and it's because of the energies. It's because of the energies going into my house. You know, 2 of my major planets that are rulers of my house are playing in there right now. They're forming in sextile. They're discussing shit with one another. I don't think I brought any concentrate in here, so I'm gonna load another bowl. So I want you to just be aware of those things, right? May's astrology forecast is just going to get, it's just going to get more intense. It started out really calm, didn't it? Started out really calm for me, and then by the third, I was third, fourth, and today I'm barely coming out of it, right? So it's not a time to trust your ego. It's really not. Cheers. It's really a time to trust your intuition. If you go further on, May 20th, the sun is going to leave Taurus. It's going to enter its mutable sign, air sign of Gemini, and it's going to bring a shift on a planetary level, an energetic shift on a universal level, on a planetary level. Gemini season will be quite intense for the get up and go as just it's like one day later, the Gemini sun is going to clash with Jupiter, right? Thank you. That's sweet of you. That's what's going to be so intense about the thing. Gemini season will be quite intense, and it's going to have this intense for the get up and go. And it's as just one day later, the Gemini sun, it's going to clash with Jupiter. And on the top of that, Mercury enters in conflict with Neptune on Pisces, in Pisces. And this isn't the time to trust your ego, just like I'm saying, or it is telling you and you're acting impulsively or you're out of control. It could end up hurting you, your relationship, the collective, yourself, and people around you. So there are days that are going to definitely where you're just going to have to take it easy and keep your fucking mouth shut instead of taking a risk. If it's surrounding an uncomfortable conversation that you know you're in the right about, and that an egoic pattern of the other person you know you're never going to win, you're just going to have to learn to pick your battles. Those are days that are definitely just take it easy. Just take it easy. Walk away and say, they know not what they do. Let me ask you something. And I'm going to say I see it probably quite a bit behind the register. I'm going to put some more hash in there. If I see the egoic patterns of customers that come through my register and I'm not responding to their egoic pattern, something happens to you. Something happens within you. Not to you, but within you, really. And then that happens within you emanates out of you, comes right out of you. And I've noticed that people just, they leave my register smiling and laughing because I'm not playing. I'm no longer on the hamster wheel. God, that's burning like a, look at that. I'm no longer playing the egoic game. If they're having a bad day, it's probably that I'm just in their way. There's no reason for me to respond to it or tell them anything. If they say something to hurt my feelings, it's not personal. I know it's not personal. And so that takes a lot of diligence. That takes a lot of consciousness and staying vertical. And the only way I've been able to maintain that is by the amount of meditation and time what's the word I want to use? I dedicate to my creator, to my soul, to what my soul wants to do. Here's one perfect example I'm going to give you, and I can only give it to you because it's relevant in what I'm dealing with right now. And I don't say any of this because a checker at minimum wage is a dent to my ego in any way, means, or fashion, because I don't give two shits about what I do. I could clean up dog shit and I wouldn't care, right? And it has nothing to do with the schooling or the college or the nursing or the respiratory that I did. Nothing. It has to do with everything than what I totally and didn't even imagine nor recognize. I find myself doing mundane stuff that are taking up a profound amount of my energy, that are not bringing beneficial results to the collective, to the other person, or to myself. And then by the time I get done with that task, I'm spent and I'm exhausted and I have no more to give. And then it becomes non-rewarding to me, right? It's like I'm giving, and then I had to really sit with that and meditate with that. And that's part of where the dark night of the soul came back up again to bite me in the ass and said, because you're self-sabotaging yourself with simple mundane things, okay? Because you're taking a minimum wage job as a checker. You know they're going to work you multiple hours. You're not going to have time to come home and teach and make your soaps and do all the other things you want to do, because there's only so many hours in a day, number one. And number two, what's serving the greater good? I could, no disrespect to grocery stores and no disrespect to checkers, but I could teach my 5-year-old how to do a check job, right? I could teach a 5-year-old how to clear a check and run it through the scanner and memorize the codes and click them into the computer, or scan a tag on the magnet, right? It's simple stuff. So I'm not saying it for any means other than what I'm referring to is my soul is saying, stop sabotaging yourself with simple mundane things when you know you have more than enough right now. Get your fucking priorities straight and start doing what it is that Spirit wants you to do, rather than doing what you think you should be doing. right? Because when I'm doing it, I find excuses why I shouldn't be doing it. And that's harmful to me. It's harmful to my coworkers. It's harmful to anybody that I'm doing that to. And I don't want to do that. And so that's where it reared its ugly head. And so, you know, my soul wants me to do what my soul wants me to do because I've reached an age in my life where on clock time, maybe I'm running out of it. Maybe I'm not, but I'm just saying, that you can't not say that wasn't a thought. It is a thought, but it's just a thought. It doesn't make it so. It doesn't make it a fact, right? And so it's just like I've been trying to tell you guys, just because it's a thought doesn't make it so. It's not a fact. What's the facts? So it takes quite a lot of diligence, and the only way I get through it is meditation, my grow, making my soaps, and teaching and doing hands-on healing. I have people telling me that they have acne so bad that the only thing that's cleared it up is my soaps. But do you think I'm promoting my soaps 100% of the time? No. And I make beautiful products, God damn it. I should be. I'm sabotaging myself. I don't do a lot of dabs. I only do dabs when I'm having pain. If I'm having pain because I have Harrington rods in my back and they probably need to be replaced after 20 years, I dab some material and it takes the pain away. I don't use opioids. I don't like opioids. I don't want to take them. And this is all natural stuff. I grow it. I grow it right in my garden. I could take a seed and put it in the soil outside. And that's what I'm saying. All these things I've been doing my entire life, nursing, healer. And I've had my hands on people my entire life. Thank you. My entire life, I've had my hands on people. Literally. So these are really just definitely good times to think about some of those things like I'm bringing up, right? And I can only use my examples because I don't know anybody else's and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, right? I don't want anybody to think I'm, pointing any fingers or saying anything that I'm not saying. These are definitely times that you just need to just take it easy on yourself. Maybe count to 10 before you respond instead of taking a risk and just mouthing off, especially those days I talked about. The 2 days before May 26th, you might want to watch about those because we have a super moon that's going to have a lunar eclipse. We have the new moon coming out on the 11th. Do the new moon rituals, you guys. Mercury begins its retrograde May 29th. Tensions are going to be fucking high. Misunderstandings are going to be abound. And confusion is going to reside. Eclipses are times of traveling, super powerful illuminations, right? And that creates change, but it also creates openings and closing of doors. Cheers. Ooh, that's such good papaya hash. I don't have anything to stick on top of that. I'm putting the cap on there because I don't want it to burn away. So the May 26th super moon and the lunar eclipse is in Sagittarius. It rises. Actually, in my state, it's going to rise in the sky. I was going to say it might be not be rising in your sky till the 20. Maybe the 27th. Maybe, but I don't know because it's all going to be based on the secondary aspect of Venus that's clashing with the shady Neptune on the 27th. How it's going to work out. Hi, how you doing, Jay? Because the Mercury retrograde is actually going to begin May 29th, and tensions, like I said, are going to be extremely fucking high. Misunderstandings are going to be abound. Oh, goodness gracious. Whew. Shizzle. Oh, that is in your face. Damn. Ooh. Hello. I mean, this is the one you want to try. If they have this, PJ, I'll get you some, because fuck me, man. Ooh, that made me sweat. It's papaya. It's papaya. So, uh, ooh, wee. Jeez Louise. I grew the bud I'm smoking. Yes, darling. But not this hash. This hash is by talking trees. I mean, are you kidding? I mean, did you? So listen, eclipses are that was a good hit. Eclipses are time traveling, right? They're super powerful illuminations that create change by opening and closing doors. And that's what I want to talk about in the next Cracked Wide Open video about the dark night of the soul. Is when you have a spiritual awakening, it's a doorway. It's a doorway, and you find this gap. And the gap is between conscious and subconscious. And you realize you're not your thoughts. You realize you're not your mind. You realize a whole lot of things. And so these eclipses that are occurring are time traveling. And they're super powerful illuminations that are occurring that are going to create these openings of these doorways and these pathways. And if something or someone leaves your life around this time, I mean, I really can't, Spirit, I can't go without saying that because it's in the stars, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. No more, it's no more than the death card in the tarot deck, right? It's death and rebirth, right? But the eclipses that are having these powerful illuminations that create these opening and closing of doors, there may be some profound shifts where there's been an opening and the closing of a door of a specific person, place, or thing in your life, if that makes sense. If I can say it that way, I'll say it that way. So if something or someone, how you doing, Moons? This is just the energy for May. If something or someone leaves your life really around that time, just trust that it's for the best interest to you, right? Regardless of whether or not it feels like it or not. Ask me, because I know. Sometimes I try to convince myself that the changes that have taken place are not for the greater good of myself, but I know goddamn well they are and have been, and for him and for the whole parties and the collective. So I'd be lying to myself egoically if I said it was otherwise, right? So these eclipses are ways for the universe to create change in our life, and it does it in a non-negotiable manner. it's, it's not fucking negotiable. And even more so, I would just be aware that the story that you tell yourself is not over yet. And 2 weeks later, it's not going to be over then either, right? The lunar eclipse will come around, and this begins to bring a powerful new beginning when that happens. So these are just things that I want you guys to keep in mind and think about when you're talking to people about these energies and what you're doing and what's coming up, because the two important days I want you to remember is the 11th and the 29th, you know, and know that it's going to be retrograde for a minute till July. And retrograde, cheers. Retrograde means it's going backwards and inside. So back and inner, to give you an opportunity to reevaluate, reassess, release, let go, move forward, right? It gives you that opportunity, but don't hang on to stagnant energies. Yeah. People don't think that our insects and our wildlife, cheers, you're going to go to bed. Thank you for popping in, darling. I appreciate you. I just wanted to come out and smoke a little bit and talk about some of these transits because it's a lot to take in. And if you don't know about astrology and you don't read about it, just know that these are life-changing events that are taking place. Oh, thank you, darling. And if you don't think that's the case at all, just go back and reassess 2020 or even 2019 for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Jupiter enters Pisces, and this eclipse season with the Mercury retrograde is going to begin a season that is, it's just going to ask us to reevaluate what we're doing, where we're headed, how are we getting there? Are we harming someone along the way? Are we harming ourselves along the way? Is it something that it's like, are you beating a dead horse? Are you beating your head against the wall, constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results? And if you are, those are things that these planetary shifts are asking you to look at. Retrograde, going back in, looking and reassessing the things that aren't serving you and letting them go, and knowing that I mean, ask any child that is the age of 10 to 13. Did you see that, shadow? Did you see that? Growing pains hurt, right? Growing pains hurt. And we are evolving as a universe, and we are growing. And if we don't grow and evolve with the universe, we're going to be left behind. We need to become aware so that we can heal faster, quicker, and so that we can help our mankind. I don't know about you, but I was raised in the South or even in the country, even if it was a short time, right? We knew our neighbors. We don't know our fucking neighbors here. I don't. If this world went to hell in a handbasket, all I'd have is the neighbors in my vicinity to reach out to in times of need. And isn't that pretty sad that we don't know our neighbors? And so I made a point to take everybody's soaps and to know all my neighbors and to offer any services or because a lot of them are seniors. If they need anything done, I do it. Nothing is going to bring up much hurt anymore. I'm not opinionated. I don't have any agenda. You're entitled to what you feel, and what you feel is what you want to say, and you have every right to say that. Say what you choose, my friend. It's okay. There's no judgment. We are all on our own journey, and that's what it is. It's our own journey, and what you become aware of is what you become aware of, right? And until you're aware of something, you can't say you have awareness. And so I'm not going to. Why would I do something that's futile for me and for someone else and the collective that I know is futile? It would be a waste of my energy, and it would probably upset that person greatly. And I'm no longer on a mission to hurt people, or to have an agenda, or to. Do you see these spirits? To cause them grave harm. I want to cause them grave love, unconditional love, and healing, and joy. And I want to give every way that I can. You're heating up your banger. What are you banging on? That didn't sound very nice, did it? It feels good. Yeah. I don't even do it for because I expect anything. Heat it up, baby. I don't do it because I expect anything. I don't do it because I want anything. I don't do it. I do it because I'm being informed that it's a feeling that's coming in from the inside of me, and when I do it, I'm rocking, and I feel this unconditional love, joy, and peace. So it can't be wrong. It can't be wrong. And so I'm going to keep doing what Spirit tells me to do. And Spirit is just my intuition, because I am Spirit. I am Buddha. I am consciousness. I don't have a nail. I don't have a nail, girl. I don't have a nail. Money's nice, but money doesn't buy you happiness. It doesn't buy you love. It doesn't give you unconditional love and joy. It doesn't. You don't dab? A lot of people don't dab. I didn't dab. I did not dab. Prior to going to the very first high time I went to, I didn't dab. I've been a straight up bong girl my entire life. And it's basically because I prefer bongs, because I don't know why. I don't even know why. I don't have a nail, no. Are you fucking kidding me? There's my nail. It works. It serves its purpose. It does what it's supposed to do. That's another thing. Do I need it? It'd be nice if I had one, but how much are they? Like, do you see these spirits? Yeah, I don't have a nail. I have a tank, a Coleman tank, and a nozzle that I bought. I have a spoon that I use for hash most of the time. Oh, you use a torch too? Oh, you were confused. The torch could make a whole studio, yeah. But I don't torch for very long. I do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds. I do it only for 30 seconds, and then I let it cool for 30 seconds. This is a spoon. It's a spoon. See? It's a spoon. This is a nail. My star is the nail. But I brought that in here, but I didn't bring product. That's really melting. I didn't bring product in here. It's in the refrigerator because it's been really warm here. Has it warmed up in New York at all for you guys yet? Cheers, everybody. So pay attention to your energies, you guys. Where are you, Ganja? In Canada? No, I don't like the candle with the torch. The only time I use the torch is when I torch up, when I dab. Chilling your boners. Chile, UK. Okay, so what time is it there? Oregon in the house. God, I want to come to Oregon so bad. I want to come to Oregon so bad. Miss Jill is in Oregon. I want to go there. Wait, where are you at? PJ's in New York. I think Oregon would be so beautiful. It's 6:44. Is that AM? I'm going to think that's AM. So you're just getting out of bed in the morning. Or is it PM? Oh, I would love it. You're in Detroit, Michigan. That's right. Oh, you're in Detroit. AM. 6:44 AM. Southern California, 99. Where in SoCal? How you doing, 99? SoCal. I'm in SoCal. You got up at 5? I get up at 4 every day. That's a god-awful hour to get up in the morning, don't you think? God damn it. That's a god-awful hour to be getting up. I think anybody should be getting up at that hour. I don't know. When I was a nurse, I worked 5 to 5 and 6 to 6, so it didn't make a difference. It's rainy there. You're in Rancho Cucamonga? I'm in by Slow County. You're in Humboldt County, next door. You're next door to me. Oh, really? San Clemente? Really? You would? Could I go back to sleep if I want? I have not been to any down there. I should go to some, really. I've only been to a few up here in Slow County. I could go back to sleep, Ganja, but here's the thing about a spiritual awakening on the level that I've had it. Any of the people that I have spoken to on a personal level that really know what they're talking about, they tell me there's no going back. Could I go to sleep again? Yes, I could create an egoic self that was even stronger than the one I had before, and that's even worse. It's really beautiful there in the summer. I think it's really beautiful in the winter too, though. Even though it is cold, I still think it's beautiful there in the winter too. And I'm thinking of places to go for retirement age, because Southern California is not the place to go for that or stay for that because they take all your fucking shit. And there's a few top states that you can go to that they do a little justice when you retire. They don't take everything from you. 2 weeks ago. God, I did those like 20 years ago. I don't think I would want to do anything like that. The only thing I would consider doing, but my guru tells me I don't need it, is ayahuasca. He said, you're already there. You're already enlightened. And that's the only reason anybody would do ayahuasca, is to find the enlightened state. Yes, Miss Jill's in Oregon. She's a major grower. She was sub-cool in TGA genetics. You should look her up. She's an amazing grower. Michigan's amazing. Hunt and fish. Love your land. I love Michigan. It's so goddamn cold there in the winter time. So cold. I remember, and it's probably just my memory of it, right? It's probably with all this global warming that's taken place on our planet, it's probably not as cold as I remember it. I think, if I would love to go to Cadillac. That's nice. That's nice. I think I'd like to go visit Cadillac. My brother went there because we had a cabin there, and the outhouse had a purple doorknob on it, and he wanted that doorknob or something from the outhouse. On Pine Street? Oh, really? I lived on Maud in Michigan, Grand Rapids on Maud Street. I still remember the address of the house. It was a beautiful house with a wraparound porch that my parents had. I fucking love that house. That's why I love wraparound porches. Oh my God, it was such a beautiful house. And I used to sit out a bedroom that had a point at the, like a V. See, that's another reason I don't dab a lot, because it makes me congested. Because I think they put shit in it. Oh, Grand Rapids is a great view. I don't. I don't. It's crazy because when I medicate, it's not. I'm not using the medication to get high. I'm using the medication to medicate, to not hurt, to settle myself, pain down. I don't have any mental chatter in my brain, so I'm not using a substance to hide from something or run away from something. Houses with big porches are so cool. They're so cool. Hardwood floors, are you fucking kidding me? Yes, it made me sick. Did you guys have the vaccination? Oh God, I couldn't get that out of there. You're not having it. Consciousness. I loved having the little lake we had behind the house in Michigan. They did. See, that's fucked up. It's fucked. Was that by Johnson and Johnson? What are you gonna do? I'm not gonna buy into the bullshit of the political arena, or the messages, or the social media. I'm just gonna stay in consciousness, and I'm going to be a leader, a light worker, to help other people evolve. And when I help them, they help me, and that's a win-win. There's just so fucking much madness going on. If I buy into all of it, the only way it's like Ganja was saying, how do you stay centered in smoke? I don't use it to hide. I don't. I used to take opioids, and I used to take them to hide. I used to take them to run from what I was feeling. That's why I took them. I don't medicate with cannabis for the same reasons. I don't medicate with anything like that for any reason like that. I medicate for that to help me unwind. If anything, it assists me in meditation. If you Google it in any of the ancient texts and mythology teachings, they talk about cannabis being used. Native Americans used it very, very way back. Way back. They used to smoke peyote. And peyote was grown outside in the wilderness too. It was just the same. It's no different than cannabis. So I don't think it's the drug that causes the problem. I think it's the mindset for the person who's taking it that causes the problem. The the phlegm helps with the to yeah. I know. I drink a lot of water so I can keep myself well hydrated, right? But I know when I'm congested, and I know when spirits are everywhere in this room. And if y'all don't see those orbs, there's something wrong with your vision. I know when they say on the box, it doesn't have any BHO or something, and I get congested, that chances are it does. So uh, I'm really careful. You only drink tea? Why don't you drink water? You are made up of how much water, my friend? You should be drinking water. At least your water in weight. If you weigh 114 pounds, you should be drinking 114 ounces a day if you can. If you can. Cheers. Have you tested it? Clearly you have, if it's hard, or do you just know by the way it's looking? I use my trunkin, and I tell you, the water here is not hard. I don't think it's good for you. I think you should be taking your water out of your sink, and then you can put it on the stove and you can boil it, and then you have distilled, purified water. And you can drink the shit out of that. Just just boil it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It's okay. It's 34 ppm. 34 ppms? 34? Did you say 34? 345. Okay. Because I'm like, 34 is not hard, darling. It has to be above 300. Okay, that's better. Thank you. She knew what I was saying. She knew. It's getting dark in here. The ladies are doing good. Do you guys want to see them? The ppms went higher after boiling? Did you let it cool completely down? And here's another trick. This might work for you. This might or might not work for you. It's always worked for me. You can take a food grade, not a Home Depot bucket unless it says food grade. Okay, if it's a 5-gallon food grade bucket, it's perfectly fine. And get yourself an air stone and a little tiny fish pump and some tubing, and put the air stone down inside and fill it with some water and let it sit for 2 days. Test that water. Water's so clear. Excuse me, in Detroit. Are you kidding me? Yeah. But you don't live here in California, so you don't know. The air stone will bubble out any of the impurities in the water. And then you can get yourself a basic pH meter and test the pH. And you can test your ppms on your meter and see what the ppms are rating on your water. You clearly already have one because your tap is running at 380, 348. So you know what day it is. You know what time it is. I'm looking at all the beautiful stones I have, and I think this little one here just has to be one of my favorites. Yeah, try it, see, but make sure it's a food grade bucket, especially if you're going to drink it, right? Or give it to your plants or feed it to your pets because you have to have a food grade. Don't get one of those orange ones because those aren't food grade and the chemical will come off and that could be poisonous to you and your pet or your food, you know. That's what I like about the garden. Does it make a difference? It makes a huge difference. I can come out of the tap at a pH of about between 7 and 7.2, and with about a 210 ppm, which isn't too bad. It's not hard water, but it's about 210. I don't like to give that to the plants, and so I'll use water, and I like it cold when I'm feeding, and so do the plants. They like it somewhere between 64 and 68 Fahrenheit. So I keep it outside in a bucket covered, and so it stays really cold. And I just keep the air stone in it, and I check the ppms. They're virtually zero and the pH is spot on. If anything, I have to bring it up when I'm feeding. It's crazy. I can come right out of the tap and I'm running 7.2 or 7.4. I take it out of the bucket, I'm running right. It's, I don't know, the last time I checked where I had to add anything, it was 5.9, but every other time it was right between 6.1 and 6.3. Very little correction had to be done on it. And the ppms were very, very minimal. Because I get kind of picky about this stage in flower. I'm in day 20 of flower, and I don't want anything sprayed on them. I was pissed off because had to put some of the girls on ice more so than day 14, and I was not happy about it because day 6 to day 14 is generally the best time to do it. But these Mickey Dories are freaking, the way they grow is you, if you're not foliaging the bottoms or doing something every single day with them, they can get out of hand rapidly. So I just went balls to the walls on all of them. And then I had to spray the soil a little bit and the Blue Planet nutrients for the win. Yes, baby. I had to spray the soil below the trellis and with method 1, you know, because it's an organic. But I didn't want to spray the plants because uh, I was concerned, you know, how the hairs still, I don't want them to turn red. Some are turning red already on their own, but I don't, you know, they're really pretty white right now. They're day 20. They're looking good. Talk a little bit about that. The Physio Sun, I can't really decide if it's the tent or the light. When I open the tent in the morning, because I'm running the lights at night, you know, 7 at night to 7 in the morning, because I don't want to add it to the electric bill. I could almost smell, like if I left the tent closed for like an hour from 7 to 8, not a mildewy, but a hot, musty smell, like the light might have been hot for an hour because everything was closed up. And there's ventilation in there. So I didn't understand it, but I turned the light up last night to 75%. This Mars Hydra TSW is pretty powerful light. I'm not happy about the heat distribution from it. The tent itself is a larger tent, yes, but the layout of the tent is more square, and the light is square. The pattern, the footprint of the light is square. So there's only 2 in there. The CBD Nightingale 3-to-1 is in that one, and the Ophelia is in that one. And the other one, it has the other 3 in it. Blue Planet Nutrients, yes, but Blue Planet Nutrients, you can use my discount code too, SD9. I always try to, like, if the light comes on in the morning, I generally will unzip it a little bit in the morning, but I have to be at work at 6, right? So it's going to turn off at 7. So I can't leave it open that little bit because I don't want a hermaphrodite. Oh, really? I love saltwater tanks. I wished I sucked at saltwater tanks. And that is not a cheap hobby by any means. Not a cheap hobby, and the fish are very expensive. I'd like to do it now. I'd like to do it now. I probably could do it now, but maybe it would be less than what I would get, you know? And I really want, I don't know that I want to teach and I want to write full time, and I think that's what my calling is to do. I'm trying to do it. I'm not in a financial position where I'm able to retire yet. I wish I could at especially after the time invested in 30 years in a relationship. You'd think that I was. I mean, I have some savings, but oh, oh. Yeah, saltwater is hard to manage, man. That's a hard tank to manage, and if it's off at all, your fish just, you come home and they're like, and you're like, fuck, there's 40 fucking dollars gone, and some of them are a heck of a lot more than that. I think that's great that people do that in the UK. There's a couple other states I think that are doing that as well. That's why I'm thinking about considering moving to another state. It's like that. I'm not sure what movie you're talking about, but I remember a movie. So I'll probably do some readings this week. We'll see. I'm off tomorrow, and the next day we'll see. To the UK? Oh my God, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. God, you talk about a fish out of water. And that's another thing. I didn't come here because I wanted to. Well, not really. I came here because somebody wanted to, and I, was willing to go to any lengths to make sure to see that happened for them. And so there's nothing here to tie me here. There's really nothing to tie me here. I have, I don't have any deep-seated roots. I have roots here, but they're not seated deeply like my country roots. It's not any different than anything else, I don't think. Maybe it's time for a switch. Maybe it's time for a change. I don't know, but we'll see. Only time will tell. Energy will take me where I'm supposed to be. I don't know where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing, who I'm supposed to be doing it with, and where I'm supposed to be going. All I know is I'm supposed to be staying in the vertical and just going with the ebb and the flow. And the rest is just being revealed. It's kind of unfolding in front of my eyes. Coming to, yeah, it's. So I was looking at my crystals because I really enjoy them. Cheers. And I'm kind of medicated, so cheers, everybody. So I thought I would come out, talk a little bit about the May energies. Remember, if you don't know about the full moon rituals, look under my video section. Okay, that's it. It's 99 minutes. Look under my video section. I think you have to pick crystals that you resonate with. It's like, that's a good question, Ganja. I'm glad you asked it because PJ, I think he's still in the room. Okay. So this is just an example, okay? And this is my pendulum because I use a pendulum. This is a crystal bowl that I have a bunch of quartz crystals in, and a really big one, okay? And these were sent to me. A lot of these were sent to me, not all of them, from PJ. And when I first got them, I had to cleanse them, right? I had to cleanse them and then sage and Palo Santo them and do a ritual with them and leave them out in the moonlight and let them charge. When I got them, the only thing I felt on them when I got them was PJ's energy. I could tell you what time of day he was taking a shit. And so the sooner I cleansed him, the better, because I was invading his space and he didn't even know it. And so since I've cleansed him and put him in here, right? Anytime I knock back a deck, I lay a white crystal on it, right? Because they're quartz crystals. And if there's any negative energy that I feel that's left in the room or the cards, I use this big old quartz that he sent me. PJ is always entitled to a reading anytime. But I have an overindulgence with crystals. I'm not lying. And I like very unique things, and I like my cards, and I have probably way too many decks, and I'll probably keep buying them. It's a powerhouse. It's a powerhouse. Anyone that comes in here asks me where I got that, and I said I don't know where he got it. He's told me before, but it's just like anything else. Someone tells me it's gone, it leaves my brain, and I have to ask them again. I mean, even simple ones like this that you think are simple, but look at the stuff inside it. I thought it was dirt on the outside. It's not. It was embedded in the soil of where they were. Authentic crystals are very hard to buy if you're not paying attention. I would not get them at any place that doesn't have some sort of authenticity showing you when you purchase the crystals that they're authentic, right? That they're not just something that they're putting in the store. And I have several different ones and several different kinds and several different stones, and they all mean something significantly different. And the Buddha temple, what? See, those were from a Buddhist temple that was laid out on a mandala in New York. So no wonder these are such powerful crystals, because whenever I knock back a deck or use these crystals to open up a reading, the energy is so powerful. I don't know. People don't like to subscribe or hit the bell or the thumbs up because I don't know, maybe it's a dent to their ego if they do it. To me, it's a simple task, and it doesn't mean shit. It gives Google a different algorithm so that people have the ability to share the content. That's all. And feathers mean something to me. Yeah, and feathers mean something to me. Feathers and chakra systems and things like that. And so I do have a chakra set that I'm going to give away. And I think I'm going to give it away with one of these decks. The White Sage Tarot. This is one of my favorite decks. So I think I'm going to do one set of stones and one deck for some lucky viewer on the readings that are looking for that. Thank you so much. It doesn't make any difference to me. It doesn't make any difference to me. It just saddens me because other people that want to see the content can't see it if it's not getting in the correct algorithm to be shared. So if it's a personal thing, I understand, but otherwise I don't get it. So don't stress yourself. I don't know why I'm burping. Excuse me. It must be the tea, the milk thistle. And I have a crab because I'm a fish. And that's it, really. I do all of the stuff over here. Cheers. I'm going to take one more rip and then I'm going to get my silly ass out of here. I made some beautiful hummus, PJ, and I ate it on lettuce wraps. Cheers, darling. I ate it on tortillas, which is good, really good. No, you didn't send me the amethyst. This one here? No. This one I bought. I really resonated with this. And this is a pink quartz. And this is aquamarine. This is my birthstone. This is there's I can't even tell you all the names of them. I have to get my thing out. My folder. I just put them around me because I love the energy of them. So I'm going to stick a little bit more on here for you guys. You sent someone some? Did you? Amethysts? Amethysts are beautiful stones to have. They're just lovely. They are very powerful. Energies only have the capacity to do just like your mind, anything you believe. If you believe they're simple rocks, then they're simple rocks. If you believe they have the mystical mythology behind them and they have the mystical powers to do something for you, then it's no different than your thoughts than what I'm talking about. Aquamarine's your birthstone. So you were born in March or February. Cheers. This shit is in your face, man. See, it's not really even lit yet. Not lit till the second one. Fuck. Aqua birthstone. Oh, aquamarine. Oh, you can use sage. You can get sage at any of your health food stores should carry sage. If you can, I would get white sage and get little Palo Santo and get the white sage. Because the white sage will clear and protect, and then the Palo Santo will cause an increase in ascension. Jade. I like jade too. Jade's beautiful. I have a lot of different incenses that I burn, and that jade's one of my favorite. Blessed sage. From a healer. Do you not see these orbs, for crying out loud? A blessed healer is unless you know someone that's like a Native American that can bless the sage for you. The stone? No, not if it's real. Not if it's real. Unless you put it out in the sun. If you put any of your crystals out in the sun, you are going to fade them. That's a given. Don't do that. So if you run them like I run all my stuff, right? Like I have my beads down there, my Buddha beads and my other things by the Buddha, you can't see it. And then some of the things I take off my altar, most of my stones go out, all my cards go out, but it's only during the moonlight. It's not. Look at that video. Look at that video. They absorb the energy. They absorb the energy in the moonlight. They don't need to be in the sunlight. They'll absorb the energy in daylight, but you can just put them around your neck, wear them as jewelry, wear them on your arm like this, right? Anything, like if people pick up my beads, like I sent someone soap and she's like, the minute I touched the box, I knew whose box it was, where it came from, because it had your energy all over it. And I just sent her soap, as a thank you gift. And she had no idea it was coming. So she didn't even expect it. They don't fade your energy. They only will fade the color of the stone. It's not going to fade your energy, darling. And if anything, you will heighten its energy on the stones. I don't have mine in here right now, but if you wear, like I wear a lot of Native American turquoise and jewelry and like beads, and these came from Australia, these two, and the other two I just bought. It's multiple quartz one, this one, and this is blue topaz, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And this one, and this lighter blue one came from Australia. So the more I wear them, the more energy's on them. Like you can't pick up my decks and not feel my energy on my decks. If another reader read my decks, they'd be like, I gotta cleanse this deck because I can't fucking read it. It's all stars energy. So it's, it's personal. It's yours. It's yours. That's why it's your intuition. And you're the only one that can listen to it. So these energies will help you. The dark ones, I have dark ones. I have black onyx that I use, and I have a money rock that I use. That's a money rock that's dark. You can't wear any jewelry. Well, the thing is they're not jewelry. They're stones. They're stones. They're not jewelry. And you certainly can wear stones. You got to cleanse it. Cleanse that dick, man. Cleanse it. Cleanse it and flick those boogers out of there, bitch. You get numb in minutes? Really? Shit, I keep burping. They have this, I buy it at this store downtown. It's this wire that's like a hypoallergenic wire, and I don't seem to have a problem with it. But if I try to wear some certain earrings, I can't. And I don't have a problem with the wire because I made myself a jade one. I bought myself some beautiful jade stones, and I'm like, I want to bead those so bad. Well, we need to open up those meridians, my dear. We need to open up those meridians. I'll send you some healing energy, my friend. So you guys, I've had a great time chatting with you. It's been 113 minutes. I'm going to go eat some hummus that I made. I just used chickpeas, tahini sauce, some lemons I squeezed in there, and some 3 garlic cloves. And then I drained the peas, the chickpeas, and then I used the juice because there's something in the juice that's good for us. I forget what they call it. And I used olive oil, and then I took it out and I added what did I add? Cumin. And then I sprinkled paprika on it. And then I cut parsley up, and then I let it cool in the refrigerator for 4 hours. And then I wrapped it in a banana wrap. Oh my God. I used the lemon zest of 2 lemons and parsley, yes. And 1/3 cup of olive oil. And I started with 1/3 cup of the base juice that I strained off the cans. And then I used a pinch of kosher salt and a teaspoon of cumin. It's like a banana. It was like a banana. What can I add to that? What can I add to the lettuce? And if it's a little runny, will it set up more? Or should I put it back in the blender and add a few ice cubes? Because I saw that done too. I could do that. But I was digging on it. I used tortillas, chips, and lettuce wraps. And I was like mowing down on it. I haven't even eaten any dinner. Mm. It's not runny. It's not runny. It's not runny, but it's not as thick as it is in there. You're welcome. Thank you for stopping in. It's not as thick as what you buy in the grocery store, but it's not full of all that shit either. So I'm thinking it'll harden up as it thickens. Hummus should get thicker. So if I have to add another can of chickpeas, I will. It's all good. But shit, I have enough hummus to feed the whole neighborhood. So I better start giving some hummus away because I got a big ass bowl. But now, see, I want to go eat some. But I think I'm going to bake something. I think I'm going to do my muffins or something like that. So I love you guys. Stay tuned. Be sure and share the content of the video, please. And watch the full moon ritual video. And if you can do any of those things, do them. Stay centered, stay grounded. I know it's hard. This energy upon us is affecting a lot of people. And I appreciate you guys stopping by. I know it's affecting a lot of people because it's affecting me too. So just hang in there. Ebb and flow, baby. Stay in the vertical with consciousness, right? Oh, I do chocolate chips and ship them, yes. I do chocolate chip. I do macadamia, and they're my favorite. Those are everybody's favorites to have me ship. All right, darling. I love you guys so, so much. So, namaste. Sound off in the comment section, you guys. It's your section, baby. Cheers.